inversionistas. Las ideas de los emprendedores pueden estar en el radar de los inversionistas. ¿Cómo? A través del crowdfunding, es decir, de comunidades digitales que financian proyectos a cambio de una recompensa o retorno que puede ser monetario o material. ¿Cómo funciona? El emprendedor envía su idea a la plataforma digital. Allí comparte la descripción de su proyecto, la cantidad de dinero que necesita, el tiempo que requiere para recaudar ese monto, que puede ser desde 30 hasta 120 días, y define lo que recibirán a cambio quienes creyeron en la idea. Una vez publicado, el proyecto debe ser promocionado al máximo para conseguir inversionistas. Cuando se cumple la fecha límite, se cierra el proyecto y se comprueba el dinero recaudado. Si no se alcanzó el total que el emprendedor necesitaba, el dinero se devuelve a los inversionistas. De lo contrario, el emprendedor recibe el dinero, realiza su proyecto y los inversionistas reciben su recompensa. ¿Ya tienes tu idea lista?
¿Qué es crowdfunding? Hasta hace muy poco tiempo, si alguien quería sacar un proyecto adelante y necesitaba financiamiento, tenía una serie de opciones genéricas. Pedir un préstamo a amigos o familiares, utilizar sus ahorros, vender algún bien o pedir prestado a una institución financiera. Hoy en día, nuevas opciones están naciendo, entre ellas el crowdfunding. Pero, ¿qué es el crowdfunding? Crowdfunding, también denominado financiamiento masivo o colectivo, es la cooperación colectiva llevada a cabo por personas que realizan una red con el objetivo de conseguir dinero u otros recursos. El crowdfunding está basado en la idea de que existen personas con dinero que quieren apoyar a otras con ideas, y de que no es lo mismo que 1000 personas apoyen una idea dando cada una $10 a que una sola persona ayude con $10,000. El riesgo se disipa. Conseguir una persona o empresa que apoye con una cantidad grande de dinero para nuestro proyecto es complicado. Con el uso de Internet y las redes sociales es más sencillo conseguir a muchos que apoyen con poco. El crowdfunding puede ser usado para muchos propósitos, desde artistas buscando apoyo de sus seguidores, campañas políticas, financiación de deudas, ampliación de vivienda, proyectos escolares, producción de películas, desarrollo de prototipos e ideas, y hasta el nacimiento de compañías o pequeños negocios. Hoy en día, cada vez existen más sitios en Internet de crowdfunding y más proyectos financiados por esta vía, algo que supone una nueva revolución en todos los sectores en los que nos movamos. ¿Cómo funciona el crowdfunding en general? El emprendedor o creativo envía el proyecto a la web, indicando descripción, cantidad necesaria de financiamiento, tiempo de recaudación y recompensas ofrecidas. Se publica el proyecto por un tiempo determinado, 30, 60, 90, 120 días. Se promociona lo máximo posible utilizando diferentes recursos de mercadotecnia como fichas técnicas, videos explicativos, fotografías, videos del prototipo, etc. Al llegar el fin del plazo, se sabe si se alcanzó el financiamiento requerido o no. Si no se alcanza el financiamiento requerido, no se le entrega el dinero al emprendedor y se le regresa a los inversionistas. Si se alcanza el financiamiento solicitado, se le entrega al emprendedor y los inversionistas reciben las recompensas una vez que el proyecto haya sido terminado. ¿Tienes alguna idea y requieres financiamiento? ¿Qué esperas? Utiliza el crowdfunding.
Las inversiones inmobiliarias tienen mucha importancia en los países de habla hispana. No es de extrañar que mucha gente
Hello, I'm Stuart Ashen, and holy do I have a story to tell. As you may know, I'm a huge fan of horror films. I like everything from the 1970s B-movies right up to modern mainstream stuff. As long as it has an effective, creepy atmosphere, I am on board. And I've always wanted to tell my own story with that feeling. But I didn't want to do it until we had an absolute jaw-dropper of an idea. Something unique that would blow people away. We now have that idea. This is Turn Back, our new horror film. I'm based here in Norwich in the east of England, and part of our local folklore is the infamous Black Shook. It's an archetypal demon story with a deep mythology and a personal connection to me. Perfect to base our horror plot around. The legend goes that Black Shook is a huge ghostly demonic hound that roams the East Anglian countryside, and laying eyes on it can be an omen of impending death. If you hear its howl, whatever you do, close your eyes. So that's what our story will be based on, but there's one more thing. We're going to do it all backwards. That's right, it's going to be a reverse chronology film. The first scene you see will be the last scene of the narrative, and so on, in the same way you might have seen in things like Memento or 500 Days of Summer. But trust me, you won't ever have seen it quite like this. This isn't some silly gimmick, it is fundamental to the story. With each new scene and jump back in time, new information will be revealed in a fascinating and truly horrifying way. This is one of the reasons I'm so excited about it. So that's the plan. A big, bold reimagining of a classic myth told in a very modern, very Ashen's way. It feels like I've been waiting to tell this story my whole life, and I really hope you'll love the concept as much as I do. We've been working hard for the last few months to create some great perks that we think you'll love. There's a special pack of unique collectibles, a retro movie collection that includes new action figures and a VHS-style version of all our films on Blu-ray or DVD, pieces of my sofa, a chance to get me to review your tat, to even be in the film yourself, and more. I'm sure you'll find something you'll love. As you know, making movies is an expensive business. Smaller projects like this just don't happen unless you make them happen. I've been so lucky to have such a supportive audience over the years and cannot thank you enough for continuing to put your faith in me. This is our biggest, boldest project to date, and I'm excited and, frankly, nervous as hell about it. This is truly a dream of mine, so please, if you can, pledge some money, pick out a perk, tell your friends about the movie. Join us, and together we will make something amazing.
Final Girl is back. And just when you thought the best solo game in the world couldn't get any better, here comes Series 3. Whether you are brand new to Final Girl or a seasoned veteran, you will have a blast starring in these all-new horror features. As the Final Girl, you will need to use your brains and brawn to save the helpless, find useful weapons, and ultimately to outlast the killer and end their deadly spree. Now on Kickstarter. Final Girl Series 3 brings you 5 all-new feature films and tons of other goodies, including our new Series 3 Ultimate Box. If you're new to Final Girl, you can also get Series 1 and Series 2 as well. It is time to ratchet up the tension in your games with new killers and new locations. And a whole new batch of Final Girls ready to stare down death and survive at all costs. Final Girl Series 3 on Kickstarter now.
Many folks think the desert is a desolate place, a barren wasteland, they call it. They couldn't be more misinformed. You see, driving on those lonely roads opens something. You begin to see things, and you notice the creatures and the plants and the beings that are out there. You gain appreciation for the way the desert paints itself a million different colors. You start to see lights. Hello, my name is Bryn Matheny, and welcome to Barrenlands. This collection of stories and artwork strives to document the seasonal occurrences, natural beauty, and strange phenomena of the North American southwestern deserts. In this book, you'll find my own personal observations about native plants and animals, odd creatures, and strange occurrences, as well as tales I've collected from family and conversations with locals. In the North American Southwest, vast expanses of wild desert peppered with human sprawl and decaying ghost towns means that driving is a big part of daily life in these parts. And when you do a lot of driving, you usually find yourself traveling on some back road somewhere, looking into that endless horizon. What they don't tell you is that if you do this enough, you begin to crave it. I hope to shed a bit of wonder on a place that is all too often regarded as lifeless. This is a humble love letter to the region in which I was born and raised.